This is in response to Raw5069, who recently made a video asking,
as far as atheism goes, I'm just curious. What good comes from being an atheist?
that very much depends on the individual. I don't think morality and intelligence have much to do with whether a person believes the claims of a particular religion. Good people will be kind to others regardless of their beliefs, not because of them. Similarly, there are bad people on both sides of the theist-atheist divide, so in and of itself I'd say it's neutral. It's a bit like asking, what good comes from not collecting beer mats?
If there is no God, then what good is it to be an atheist? What are the benefits?
It's interesting to hear this question from a believer. Most of the theists I've spoken to won't even consider the possibility that their God might not be real. Not even hypothetically. When we ask the question, what if you're wrong? The usual response is, I'm not wrong. Even when we emphasize the if, what if you're wrong? You know, just supposing. I'm not wrong, damn it! So, if the God of the Bible isn't real, then that tells me that the story of God drowning every human being on the planet, apart from Noah, Shem, Ham, Japheth, and their 4 unnamed wives, probably didn't happen. And that's a good thing in my book. Who would want global genocide? Seriously. Why did all but 2 or 7 of every animal have to die also? And all the plant life? Not to mention the minor detail of all the water on the earth, fresh and salt water, being mixed together, which would be lethal to pretty much every aquatic creature that we know of. It seems like such a pointless waste of life. I couldn't imagine Jesus doing that. There is another short story in Genesis 38 in which God kills a guy called for no apparent reason. And then when his brother Onan was ordered by their father Judah to have sex with his dead brother's wife Tamar, he wasn't happy and pulled out before the point of no return and spilled his seed on the ground. God didn't like that, so he killed Onan too. These stories, and many others, such as the unfortunate Uzzah, who steadied the Ark of the Covenant when he thought it might fall over and was slaughtered by God for his troubles, makes me think that if he is real, then he's not very empathetic or compassionate. And he's not very consistent either. In other parts of the Bible, we're told to love our neighbours, turn the other cheek, and forgive those who would do us harm. To me, it seems like Christianity is mythology. I'm sure most Christians, including you, Bob, would not try to argue that the gods of Egyptian, Greek, and Norse mythology were real. Please correct me if I'm wrong about this. The thing is that atheists don't see a difference between your God, Osiris, Zeus, Odin, and all the other deities. The only obvious differences are geography and time. We just so happen to live at a time when 1 billion or more humans believe that Yahweh is real. Another large group believe that Allah is real. Atheists simply don't think that any of them are. Back to you, Bob.
Is it just the freedom to do whatever you want, guilt-free?
Not exactly. It has to do with the freedom of thought, though. According to your book, Jesus told us that we commit adultery just by thinking about it, which implies that telepathy is real, something I for one don't believe to be true. The Bible tells us what to think. It tells us that we must obey the will of God, as described in the book. As a freethinker, I'm allowed to question whether the Bible really was written or inspired by a supernatural deity, or whether it was written by men a couple of thousand years ago. I'm not saying that there is no wisdom and insight within that particular collection of 66 books and letters, but I'm reasonably sure that the good bits are hidden amongst a whole load of bloodthirsty stories and instructions which were designed more to control than enlighten. I consider myself a fairly moral person. I don't enjoy hurting others, and I try to treat people the way I'd like to be treated. So from that point of view, I wouldn't want to do things which harmed other people or animals or the planet. I also try to be honest. If I'm not sure about something, I'm at pains to make that clear. I don't want to tell anyone what to think or believe, but I would like to help people figure out how to think, how to look at the world critically, avoiding the pitfalls of delusion and false hope. The truth is really important to me. If I've reached the wrong conclusion about the supernatural, God, or the way the world works, I want to know about it. Now, regarding guilt. My reading of the Bible tells me that humans are supposed to feel guilty about their innate sinfulness. We're told that we're scumbags, but commanded to behave impeccably according to a whole bunch of commandments within the Bible, many of which our supposed God-given sense of morality finds abhorrent. I don't feel at all guilty for transgressing laws such as killing my gay friends or working on the Sabbath. The people in my life I care about are real, and I do feel guilty about not spending so much time with them. God doesn't seem to be real from where I'm standing, so I feel no guilt for questioning the claims of the religious.
Please, let me hear from atheists on this.
Those were just a few of my thoughts. One more thing before I go is basically reiterating my first point. Many believers start their inquiries from the position of assuming that God is real. They can't comprehend the idea that that might not be so. So all of the inquiries they make are seeking to confirm the conclusions they already hold. It's like they're thinking inside the box. If there's one thought I could pass on to any believers watching this, it would be, imagine for a moment that God is inside the box. Anyway, thanks for watching, and don't take my word for any of this. I'm just a guy who likes to share his thoughts. See you in the next video.